All right. Welcome to the United Matters channel, and how are you guys? Manchester United is really trying to build up momentum onto what they want to see as a season that they really get back to the glory days, either by winning a Premier League trophy or qualifying for the Champions League. And I tell you what, the dream is really clear. Why? For the trophy, United is 8 points behind Arsenal, the table leaders, having 17 points. The table leaders are really having, the table leaders are having 25. Now, that is really possible because we are just in 10 games. And if United can really stretch to like 5-6 games and winning them consecutively, it will obviously see United really be one of those big clubs that will come in through and win the trophy. Now, for the side of the top four, the team seated in the top four is obviously Sunderland, and it's having 18 points, meaning that United is just 1 point off the top four. And I tell you, the Premier League, with how its teams are really going to be performing in the Champions League, I tell you what, they will take 5 teams next season as they've gone ahead to do this season. Meaning that even if we finish 5th or 4th, we will qualify for the Champions League as a club of Manchester United. And when I tell you the dream is alive, obviously those two dreams are still alive, and on paper, all can happen. When you look at the team of Manchester United, I tell you, if it can really pick up consistency, United can obviously do the needful. And there are players that I think United should obviously look at to address and obviously bring him through to see to it that all goes on well as planned. And one of those is a player that I think can play in the midfield and a left wing back, because I think that's where we are really thin, thin in our squad as a club of Manchester United. Now, we've gone ahead to obviously get a story from Team Talk, and before I obviously unleash that story from Team Talk, allow me say this. Welcome to our channel, guys. It's a United Matters channel. It's been a while since I last came in here to obviously bring you a story, but I'm back, and I'm obviously going to be dropping more and more stories for you here onto the United Matters channel, and you guys are really going to be enjoying them to the fullest like never before. Now, the club of Manchester United, through Team Talk, they've told us that Man United are having Manchester United scouts have been closely monitoring Antoine Semenyo's performances since the start of the season, viewing him as a forward who could add energy, creativity, and flexibility to the attack. You understand? The club is weighing up a potential £60 million move in the summer, but an earlier approach in January remains possible if his impressive form persists. Now, Manchester United and the so-called Antoine Semenyo. The big question is he a player that is going to hit to take a box of coming in to play for a club of Manchester United? I'll tell you, yes, he has reached the levels of playing for the club of Manchester United. Why? It's not by mistake that teams like Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, and Liverpool, Newcastle are all interested in him. Now, what shows you that a player has obviously gone ahead to really hit that bar? It's when big clubs are really interested in him. If big clubs are interested in you, that means you are good enough and you've come of class to obviously come and really put in a very huge shift in there for you. And the other question is he that player that can see the club of Manchester United really get forward? Yes, he can be, you understand. But we ask, when it comes to January transfer window, who are the priorities that Man United are really looking at, to bring in? Manchester United are really having priorities of, I think, a midfielder who can play in the central midfield as a number 8 and a left wing back. Those are the players that I think the club of Manchester United badly needs. You understand? So, is Antoine Semenyo one of those? I don't think so. I don't think so, because the player plays as a left winger, right winger, and a false number 9. You understand? He literally plays across the 3 forward positions of the pitch. That is a player we call Antoine Semenyo. You understand? Now, From there, I want to let you know that this player is such a special player. And him being such a special player, he has the attributes that we need. But I don't think that he is a January signing. If you tell me in the summer, I will say yes, because obviously some players will leave in the summer. Unless otherwise you tell me that Joshua Zirkzee is leaving in the summer and we are trying to bring him on. As I think, however much we are losing Bryan Mbeumo to Cameroon in the African Cup of Nations and Amadi Diallo to Ivory Coast in the African Cup of Nations too, we will need a player to come and really utilize or really play in that position. But I really know that we are having a Mason Mount who can play the number 10 in that Bryan Mbeumo position. We also have a player called Joshua Zirkzee, So those are players that can come and really play in that number 10 position. And by the way, the manager can obviously play Ugarte and Casemiro, then he pulls Bruno into that number 10 position. You get? And Ahmad has been playing as a right wing back. Dallo can play there. Mazraoui can play there. You understand? So we have plenty of players that can really come and play into that particular position. So all I want to let you know is simple. I don't think that he's a January signing, unless otherwise Joshua Zirkzee can really leave, and spending £60 million for on him will be really, for me, a wastage of money. But for the people at Manchester United, they might find it important to obviously add on another player who plays like a Semenyo and can come in through off the bench and really put in a very huge shift. Recently, I've been talking to my friend who has Boda Francis, and he told me that all he thinks United needs is that player who can come in through and really put in a very huge shift, in that number 10 position. If I totally take off Cunha, we don't have an option. That's what we've gone ahead to get him through from my friend known as Boda Francis. But all in all, that is all about Antoine Semenyo, 60 million transfer to the club of Manchester United. But he's a very good player. I like his energy levels, and I think that's what he'll obviously bring in throughout Manchester, the fighting spirit that he'll run left, right, and center. You understand? That's what he'll obviously bring in through, and his energy levels don't drop. And I know he will be a very huge addition to the club of Manchester. But the worry will always be that in the next African Cup of Nations, imagine Morocco qualifies, you don't have a Mazraoui. Ghana qualifies, you don't have a Semenyo, Cameroon qualifies, if Baleba comes in through, you don't have Baleba and Bryan Mbeumo. Ivory Coast qualifies, you don't have a player called Amadi Diallo. Imagine missing out on 5 players. And remember, next season, I'm 100% sure we're obviously going to be playing in Europe. That season, when we get back to the African Cup of Nations, that is 2027. We will be playing in Europe. And if you're playing in Europe, it's a different business altogether. You understand? So I think we'll have African players, and they've gone ahead, obviously, blossom, but can we really look through what will obviously happen, Maybe by that time, United would have already gone ahead, obviously, build a squad that will see us having players that are equally the same as those that we've gone ahead, obviously, lose to the African Cup of Nations teams. But for me, I love the player. If it's a January summer transfer signing, I don't really go in for him. Summer transfer signing, I obviously go in for him. You understand? Because I know how important he is. With rumors that Bruno might be leaving, Zirkzee will be leaving in the summer, obviously, we will do the needful and see to it that all really goes on well as planned. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rock and David is my name, and hope you guys have been having fun and enjoying whatever we've obviously gone ahead to be bringing you in here onto our beautiful channel. So guys, feel free to go into the comment section and tell me your thoughts about Antoine Semenyo. Would you let him come in through the club of Manchester United? Yes or no? I'll be waiting in for your answer in here onto the United Matters channel. Thank you for obviously watching in through and being patient. From today onwards, I'm back, fully back, full action, and we're obviously going to be discussing more and more stories. And United is going to dive deep in this summer transfer window. You know how we do it and how it has always gone ahead to be done. Bye-bye, and First video of the day, more videos. I really applauding.